too bad. I'm like, I really do.
Oh, you ready to see Cruz? You gonna give him a hug? You gonna open up his gift he gave you? Oh,
You talking about the one which he bought me?
yeah, Makenzie.
You ready?
Oh my God.
Come on.
What is this?
I missed you. You want to see the baby now?
She still don't even know where he at. Right here.
He's been waiting for you, Kenzie. He's like, where's Kenzie? Come up here. He came out my belly. What do you think? Oh, bless you.
Dang, Kenzie.
What do you think? You're really a big sister now. Why are you acting all shy? You want to wash your hands and hold him? Okay.
No, we need a chair like
It's getting big, baby. He's getting so big. He's so heavy.
What do you think?
Good.
Good.
Oh, he just licked me.
You're a kid.
I think he wants more milk.
Yeah, I was gonna try again.
But your tummy is a little bit more big.
Yeah.
Oh, he's hungry.
He's smiling.
All the babies in the high tree, and I love you.
I'm crying. Right when she started singing it, he was smiling. Right? That's the song you always sing to him. Sing it again.
Like a little baby in the high tree, and all the babies in the high tree, and I love you. But just pacifier.
No pacifier.
Good job, Kenzie. You're gentle.
He's 19 pounds.
Oh, what is it?
Stop! It's LOL!
Is this you want it?
I want that.
He got that for you?
Can I have it?
Can you pull it up and walk with it?
Let me see the front. Oh, that's pretty. Yeah.
No, the other way. This way.
Medicine.
Thank you.
That's how thanks.
So now you want to talk to him? I'm trying to move your hair back.
No, it's
Thank you. I have a big sister now.
because I went to get Makenzie.
Today is the next day. It's May 31st. Cruz is still not 24 hours old. He's not here right now. I'm kind of sad. He went to get circumcised. I know some people have things to say about that, but that is what we decided to do. And it makes me sad that he's not here. He's been so sleepy.
I've been sleeping. Sorry, talking about me.
We've been sleepy. Like last night, I was so tired because I haven't slept in like months. So, and especially all that happened yesterday. But this hospital, they are on it with this food. Like, can I stay here? So this is our lunch for today. Yesterday, they were on it. Like, they gave me lunch right after delivery. What was that food? It was like beef steak.
It was like
beef.
and rice or something?
It was like beef. It was like beef chips with rice, and it was so good. And then for dinner, it was like like chicken and.
Oh, it was like chicken and what was it?
Carrots? No, spinach.
Chicken and mashed potatoes.
Oh yeah, and then they gave us a
gravy.
midnight snack, which was like a turkey sandwich. I was like, geez, they're just coming in with the food.
And now this.
And then now this is called like.
Well, you had breakfast.
What is this? Oh yeah, then I had breakfast. I had quiche and potatoes, and it came with oatmeal and decaf coffee and stuff. Now this is lunch, and this is called it's under here.
Celebratory lunch.
Celebratory lunch. So the mother and the guest, Darius, gets to choose what they want to eat. So let's see what you got, Darius.
Some
You got
Caesar salad, cookies,
water, and
got you
ooh, that baked potato look good.
loaded baked potato, chicken breast, and some broccoli. Really?
And I got chocolate cake, Caesar salad. Ooh, they gave me a nice ginger ale. Thirsty. And what did I get? I got steak. Oh, and it came with A1 packets too. Steak, rice, and broccoli. Yo, you would think that we're in like Smoky Bones or something. So snug. You ready to go home?
Oh Lord.
Packing up. You ready? Getting ready to leave. Been here for 2 nights.
I'm dead. Tired.
Me too. I need some chapstick. I can't find it. Cruz first car ride. What do you think, Cruz? How do you feel about it? Okay, cool. He looks exactly like Makenzie with that line in between his eyes, on top of his nose. Back seat chilling. Here's my Uber driver. Look in the back where baby C. Oh wait, you can't even see him. There you go. Baby C. Now he wants to be asleep. So we have a lot to update you guys since we didn't really record yesterday, which was technically 24 hours old he was. We could have left yesterday, but they suggested us to stay since We've been having some breastfeeding issues. I feel like they're kind of resolved now. It's just getting him to latch on, and at first he was just biting and he wasn't sucking, so he didn't know how to suck yet, but he knows how to suck now. And it's just, you know, the first 2 weeks are the hardest, and I'm just trying to go through and deal with the discomfort for right now. So we showed you our food yesterday, the delicious steak and all that fun food, but when I looked at the time, I realized that he was gone for over an hour after his circumcision, and I was getting worried because they said, oh, the procedure is only like 5 minutes, but we like to keep him for an hour, and he was gone for over an hour. So I was like getting worried, and I was just like panicking. I was just like, I can't eat. So finally he came back to the room. They said everything went well, and then while she was like showing us like how it went, he was like choking, and he like started like turning like really red and almost blue, and his mouth wasn't open, and it was like not foam, but it was like just a whole bunch of spit like coming out of his mouth. So I was just like, what's going on? Like, the nurse seemed calmed about it and was like, you know, trying to tap him or whatever. She was like, but then she was quiet, and I knew like she knew like, okay, this is not right. So like she like, you know, took her to see his heartbeat and stuff like that, and she was like, I'll be right back, all calm. And I'm just like, what is going on? So she took him back, and I was just like really panicking, and I started to cry, and I'm just like, why is he choking, all this stuff. And then he finally came back. They're like, okay, it's fine. They said because he was so full of fluid from the birth, and then they also gave him sugar water for the circumcision. I'm guessing, I don't know why they do that for, but and so he was just so full of it. So, you know, basically, you know, when you're full and you spit up, so that's why he was spitting up. But how he's a different kind of baby, because most babies will just like open their mouths and like choke, like ugh. He keeps his mouth closed because he's special. So he keeps his mouth closed, and it's hard for him to like get it out, so they have to like suction it out and stuff like that. So I was just like, oh great. And then like, since he was so full of the fluids, he didn't want to nurse. So yesterday he did not eat like basically all day. I probably nursed him, what was the morning time? It was like 7 a.m. It was like 7 a.m. and then he didn't nurse until like 7 p.m. and like he was just asleep, just knocked out. And then an episode happened in between that time. He had another like spit up with us, and I like called the nurse right away because I was like putting him over and like tapping his back, and like nothing was coming out, and I tried to like open his mouth, and he was like clenching it closed. And then so they showed us like how to like suck it out with the bulb and stuff like that, and for us to just keep an eye on it, and that is normal, that you know, that he's just full, that he doesn't want to nurse, or he's just tired, blah blah. So luckily that didn't happen again. And then we had to switch rooms because there was a lady that was coming into labor, so they like to have like the midwifery center like cleared, since I already had the baby, so they just moved me to the other side of the hospital. And the room was big and spacious and nice, just like the other room. And then while we was walking to the room, I was, you know, talking to the nurse about, you know, him and not eating and stuff like that. And she was like, okay, so we can like, you know, put a tube down his throat and suction out his stomach so he'll be hungry, and then, you know, start fresh. And I was like, all right, we can do that. So they took him, and then she came back about 10 minutes later, and she was like, I didn't need to do it. I'm like, what do you mean? She was like, look at him. And he was like wide awake. That was like the first time we ever seen his eyes, because he's never really opened his eyes like that. And he was just like looking around. And she was like, we put him in a nursery, and he just was just up, like, and was just like talking. And I'm like, what? I'm like, so I guess he knew about the procedure. He didn't want to do it, basically, I guess, because all that happened within 10 minutes. And I'm like, he was like completely knocked out the whole day. I was just like, how? And then she was like, oh, so just in case you don't believe me, like, she put a glove on and like put her finger in his mouth. And that's what I tried to do earlier to see if he'll suck, and he would not suck. She put her finger in his mouth, and he started like sucking. And I'm just like, wow. So that's when we started to nurse again and try to get him on there. I had help from a pediatrician and the nurses there to get him latched on. Everyone says that he looks good, although like when you first in the beginning it hurts, so I'm just making sure that it's okay. Right now I'm only doing nursing on one side because my left side is way too sore. It has like a scar on it. Like my breasts are already getting full because they like are sore already, and so I'm just gonna like pump one side and nurse on the other side until that gets better and see how that goes. But this is going to be a crazy journey. With Makenzie, I just exclusively pumped since she never latched on, but he is actually like looking for it. I feel like he knows me already because sometimes he doesn't want Darius, like, because he knows that he doesn't have the goods. So he'll like try to suck on his arm. I mean, I don't want to introduce any pacifiers, but last night we gave him a pacifier for like a couple hours, only because I guess they say he was like cluster feeding because he didn't eat all day. But he really was just wanting to like suck on something. So like he was like sucking on me for like 45 minutes, and I'm just like, all right, I need a break. I'm tired. I swear I was like hallucinating because I was so tired because I haven't slept in forever. So we gave the pacifier and he was fine, and he still latched on right on me. But I feel like we're only gonna give the pacifier if it's just like complete emergency, that like I'm like completely in pain or like I'm not around or something like that. I do plan on introducing like a bottle probably like 2 weeks from now, just pacifiers whenever there's an emergency, because I don't want too attached to it, because that's how Makenzie was, and it took some time for her to get off of that. The doctor advised me to not do anything for 2 whole weeks, to stay in the house for 2 weeks, don't go outside, or I guess I can like sit outside but not walk too much, don't go up the stairs, don't do laundry, basically I can't do anything. They said just stay in bed, you know, walk to the bathroom, you know, get your legs moving, but not too much, because that can, you know, reverse your healing process. Because I'm already like not bleeding like as much as I did with Makenzie, which is surprising. So like, you know, healing has been, you know, after birth sucks. First of all, like the contractions you're still getting. They prescribed me Motrin 800 milligrams and Tylenol. So I've been taking all that. Sometimes it still doesn't like completely work, because you know when you're nursing, your uterus is contracting back to its normal size, and it's just like I'm in labor again. It's like I have to breathe through it. It hurts so bad. Like it's like you would think that I can deal with pain really good since I delivered the baby, but there's some things that I'm just like, I don't want to deal with this anymore. But you know, that's just the afterbirths, and I would say afterbirth is probably worse than actual labor and delivery. It's just like, oh my gosh, like when is this gonna end? But I mean, it's all normal. It's probably gonna take about, you know, just a couple weeks for it to go back down to its size. So still got a little tummy, of course. That's all normal. Darius was drinking black coffee last night, 2 cups. He does not even drink coffee, but he did it so he can stay up so I can take a nap. So that was nice. Thank you. He's been a big help. It's been crazy, and it's about to get even crazier because now we're about to pick up Makenzie. Makenzie!
See, Mommy? Mommy!
Hey!
Let me see Cruz. Let me see Cruz. Aww. He's right there. Look at that blue.
I know.
Cruzy. Cruz. So we just came back home. Cruz came out, and I was so